The Latin words curriculum vitae, meaning course of life, emerged in the early 20th century as the name for a comprehensive document outlining information regarding an individual's educational background, teaching, and research experience. It is the standard documentation of credentials within the world of academia. If you plan to be employed in an academic setting, you will want to start preparing a curriculum vitae when you begin graduate school to document your credentials and experience relevant to academic employment. Over the course of your career, your CV will be used to apply for employment, grants, teaching awards, and other such opportunities. It also will be an essential component of your tenure and promotion file and your annual merit file if you are employed in academia. The curriculum vitae differs from a resume in length and format. The CV may be from 2 for a graduate student to over 30 pages long for an academic at the end of a successful career, while the resume is preferably 1 or at most 2 pages. A resume includes a very brief statement of the applicant's education, qualifications, and previous experience, often outlined in bullet points. It is used to apply for work outside of academia and typically is a component of a job application. For those employed in academia, it is customary to collect all relevant data regarding your credentials on a longer version of your CV, from which you will select the information needed to prepare a CV version for a specific purpose, such as applying for employment. For some opportunities, such as grant or fellowship applications and consulting work, you may need a short version of your CV to conform to the stated application requirements that may be similar in length to a resume. Most CVs should include the following information: a heading, education, relevant experience, publications, presentations, performances, awards and honors, and references. The heading of your CV should include your basic contact information, including your name, first, middle, and last, an email address, a mailing address, and your phone number. When selecting an email address, make sure to select one that looks professional. Under education, include all academic, that is, not high school, degrees earned or in progress, listing them in reverse chronological order with the most recent first. For each degree, list the degree type and specialization, the name, the city, and the state of the granting university, and the month and year the degree was or will be conferred. It's appropriate to list thesis and dissertation titles and descriptions with graduate degrees, and you may include your major professor's name for each. Make sure to list experience that emphasizes your skill set. For each entry, list your title, the organization that employed you, the city and the state, and the inclusive dates the position was held. Within each entry, you will also want to specify duties, accomplishments, and experience at that position. Give the reader a clear idea of what you did. Group these entries into categories such as teaching, administration, service, etc. For publications, provide bibliographic entries for published works, including articles, books, chapters in books, reviews, and other published works, including any co-authored works. Make sure to format your citations in a style appropriate to your discipline. For each presentation, provide the presentation title, the name of the conference or event where it was presented, the date, and the location. It's appropriate to have categories for international, national, and regional presentations if applicable, and to indicate whether the presentation was juried, i.e. selected through a competitive review process, or invited. Composers will need to include significant performances of their compositions. For each entry, provide the name of the piece or pieces, the conference or event where it was presented, the names of the performer or the ensemble, the date, and the location. It's appropriate to have categories for international, national, and regional performances if applicable, and to indicate whether a performance was juried or invited. Performers will also need to document their performance activities. For each entry, provide the name of the piece, the concert, conference, or event where it was performed, the date, and the location. Like presentations and compositions, it's appropriate to have categories for international, national, and regional performances if applicable, and to indicate whether a performance was juried or invited. If you gave the same presentation with the same title and content, performed the same concert program at multiple events, or had multiple performances of the same composition, you should include an entry for the presentation or performance once, but list each location in the entry. Duplicate entries of the same presentation or concert title, even if the locations are different, can look like padding your CV. Make sure to include any awards or honors you've received, the name of the entity or organization that recognized your work, and the date of the award or honor. Examples of items under this category include scholarships, fellowships, scholastic honors, teaching or research awards, and professional awards. If you have applied for and received a grant, include the title and amount of each grant received, the purpose for which the grant was awarded, which entity or organization provided the grant, and the time span encompassed by the grant. The final category on your CV will be your professional references. In this section, you will list the name, title, affiliation, and contact information of faculty or others who have taught you, observed you, or supervised your work. Select people who know your work well and who can provide a detailed, positive reference. Be sure that you ask anyone you wish to list as a reference ahead of time. Nothing looks worse to a potential employer than contacting a very surprised reference. Generally, 3 to 5 references is appropriate for an academic CV, but you may have more than that in your pool of references from whom you select those you list for a particular opportunity or application. For example, a performer applying for a position that includes teaching music theory or history may want to provide a reference from one or more faculty from that area. Likewise, academic positions may include some applied instruction or conducting responsibilities, and a reference documenting those skills would be helpful. Based on your personal background, you may wish to include some additional sections, such as institutional service, certifications, and professional association memberships to groups like the American Musicological Society, the Society for Music Theory, and the College Music Society. Check with faculty in your area to determine if these categories are appropriate for your discipline. Some information is generally inappropriate to include on a CV. Don't include your salary requirements. Also, don't include your age, birth date, marital status, number of children, nationality, ethnicity, citizenship, health status, height, weight, and other personal information that employers may not legally consider. Don't include information that's not relevant to your profession, such as hobbies, non-professional memberships or associations, religious affiliation, etc. There is no correct way to format a CV. Remember that what you're looking for in your CV is clarity and readability. You want whoever is reading your CV to easily find relevant information. Choose a formatting style that highlights important elements. Most word processors come with a number of CV templates, which can provide a good starting point. When making your CV, make sure to do the following. Be clear, concise, careful, and consistent. Refer to positive accomplishments and skills. Proofread your CV many times. Print copies in black ink on high-quality paper in neutral colors such as white, gray, or cream. Do update your CV regularly, and do tailor your CV for each submission to the organization, audience, and position applied for. Don't give reasons for leaving former employers. Don't offer any negative information. Don't forget to proofread, make sure there are no spelling or grammar errors, and don't present a disorganized format. First and most important resource for assistance in preparing your CV is your area faculty, your major professor, committee members, and other faculty who know your work. They need to know what you have included on your CV to be familiar with all of your work, as they will be writing recommendations for you. They will have the best advice regarding what is expected of a CV in your performance or academic area. Before sharing or distributing your CV, make sure that your major professor and other faculty members in your area review it and give you comments. Especially valuable insights may be provided by those with recent experience, either as a search committee member or new faculty who have recently been applicants on the job market. Faculty may be willing to present a workshop on CV preparation for their area graduate students if asked. There are a number of other resources available for help writing and formatting your CV, along with sample CVs. The FSU Career Center will provide help and critique from a career advisor without an appointment. Many professional organizations have a CV review session at their national conferences. Make sure your area faculty have reviewed it first, though. You may also ask faculty from previous institutions where you studied to review your CV. Your CV represents your academic life. Make sure that when someone reads your CV, they can quickly develop a clear picture of your academic and professional background and your areas of expertise. Make sure that all information on the CV is current and accurate. The best way to keep your CV looking good is to update it as often as possible with the most current information and to have others review it and offer advice. This concludes the video on preparing an academic CV. For more information regarding specific topics introduced in this video, see www.career.fsu.edu.